Hey, before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Stories like this deserve to be shared. I found out she was cheating in the most mundane, brutal way possible through a casual scene on my phone. It was a Monday night. The apartment quiet except for the fridge and the rain tapping against the window. My wife, Emily, was in the kitchen, humming a song she didn't even like, swaying as she poured herself a glass of wine. I thought I knew her. I thought I trusted her. But the little notification that popped up on my phone, an innocuous text from someone named S that said, "I can't stop thinking about last night," slammed me into reality harder than any fist could. We had been married for 6 years, and the last 2 had felt like walking on broken glass. Her laugh didn't reach her eyes anymore. She had started staying later at work, always company events or team dinners. I convinced myself it was stress. I wanted to believe that. But deep down, I already knew. I knew because I'd noticed the subtle changes. The lingering scent of a different cologne on her coat, the phone screen she always kept face down, the nervous energy whenever I asked a simple question about her day. I didn't confront her that night. I didn't scream, didn't storm out, didn't cry. I just sat there, letting the words sink in. She was cheating. And whoever was, I had to see the bigger picture, not just my own heart splintering. The next morning, I brewed my coffee, keeping my routine normal as if nothing had happened. But every message, every good morning from her, felt like a lie wrapped in silk. Then a thought hit me, a dangerous, impulsive idea that I couldn't shake. What if I didn't just sit here and stew in anger and betrayal? What if I struck a different chord, one that would turn this mess back on itself? I looked at my phone again. Another message from S. This one was simple. "Miss you. Can we talk?" And that's when I realized I didn't just want answers. I wanted to rewrite the pain. But how far would I go? That question hung over me, sharp in the cold rain outside, colder than the realization of her betrayal. I waited 2 days before making my move, watching Emily's routine like a hawk. She left for work at 8, phone buzzing constantly, laughter spilling into the apartment when she thought I wasn't watching. I didn't confront her. Not yet. Instead, I dug quietly, piecing together names, habits, and patterns, until the one detail that burned hotter than betrayal itself became clear. Her lover wasn't just anyone. It was someone I knew, someone close, someone whose life was as normal and carefully curated as mine. And that person's wife, she had no idea. It hit me like ice. That's when I realized I had a choice. I could let anger devour me, make a scene, scream, humiliate, or I could take a different route, one that no one saw coming. That's how I found myself calling her, his wife, not Emily, on a quiet Wednesday evening. My voice was steady when she picked up, almost too calm for what I was about to propose. "Would you like to go to dinner?" I asked, deliberately casual. Silence hung heavy on the line. "Who is this?" she finally asked, suspicion threading every word. "I think we need to talk," I said simply. "In person. No one else. Just us." I could hear her hesitation, the faint tremor in her breath. She didn't hang up. She said yes. And that was enough. When we met at a small, dimly lit bistro, I studied her. She looked tired, the weight of something invisible pressing on her shoulders. I realized then that she had no idea, none, about the storm her husband was weathering behind closed doors. And now, I had a chance to show her the truth without a single word being wasted on blame. Over the course of dinner, I let her talk. I let her share fears, doubts, and little cracks she hadn't dared reveal to anyone. I listened, nodding, sipping my wine. All the while, I held a mirror up to her life, carefully steering the conversation toward truths she hadn't faced. The lies her husband was telling, the betrayal she never suspected, and the way love could become a weapon without anyone noticing. By dessert, the realization hit her, and I saw it. The same hollow ache I'd felt staring back at me from her eyes. The world tilted, unsteady, and for the first time, she understood. Not fully, but enough to know. And just when I thought the night had run its course, her phone buzzed. A message from Emily. "Can't wait to see you tonight, winky face." Her eyes widened when she read the message, the color draining from her face. I didn't need to say a word. The betrayal wasn't just mine anymore. It was layered, tangled, and messy in a way neither of us could ignore. I could see the fear and confusion swirling in her expression. She looked at me, searching for answers, for some sense of control. I let the silence stretch, thick and suffocating, letting every second land like a weight on both our chests. You're married, she finally whispered, voice barely audible. Yes, I said, steady, almost eerily calm. And your husband is cheating on you with my wife. She blinked, like the words hadn't fully formed in her mind. Then she laughed, half disbelief, half hysteria, half pain, and I realized that laughter was a mask for the same devastation I had felt when Emily's messages first appeared on my phone. We didn't scream. We didn't argue. We just talked, unraveling the lies, the betrayals, the hidden glances and secret smiles that had carved up our lives into something unrecognizable. I told her what I knew about Emily. I told her about the texts, the late nights, the little betrayals hidden in plain sight. She shared pieces of her own heartbreak, the ways her husband had been slipping, distant, distracted. By the time the waiter brought the check, we weren't just two strangers at a table. We were two people who had been blindsided by the same storm, forced to face truths we never wanted to confront. When we left the restaurant, I made a decision. I wouldn't let rage dictate my actions. I wouldn't scream, destroy, or humiliate. Instead, I called Emily as I drove home. She answered, cheerful, oblivious. I let her words roll over me, calm and steady, before dropping the truth like a hammer. There would be no accusations, no fights. Just a knowledge that the world had shifted beneath her feet, and everyone she had tried to manipulate now knew the story she had written for herself. I don't know if she ever understood the weight of what she'd done, but in that moment, sitting across from another betrayed soul, I felt something I hadn't in weeks: clarity. Pain, yes, but also power. The kind that comes from looking betrayal in the eye and choosing your own path. If you ever felt blindsided, betrayed, or unsure where your life went wrong, remember this. The world can break you, but it can also teach you how to stand taller than you ever imagined. If this story hit you, share your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe for more real, emotional stories that dig deep into the human heart.